Black Oni.
What's going on, tubes? It is your boy Black Oni, and I am here to give you some impressions of Black Ops 3. Now, for you guys at home who aren't aware, been living under a rock, the Black Ops 3 beta was live on PlayStation 4, and that is what I played this on. I pre-ordered the game on the PlayStation 4, so my experience is specifically pertaining to the experience on the PlayStation 4. Here are the pros and cons, the breakdown of the things I do and don't like about the game. Playing some Kill Confirmed. I have the Man of War in my hands right now. I actually really enjoy this weapon. I didn't think I would, but I actually do. And I would like to start the conversation off by talking about the weapons. So this is one of the pros. Well, it's a pro and con. It's a con because there aren't as many weapons as there are in Advanced Warfare, for example. In Advanced Warfare, you have so many weapons that you can use, so many variations of the weapons. There's ones with higher fire rates, more stability. There's just a lot of variety in the weapon and the different variations of the weapon. I think it's really great that Advanced Warfare did that, kept things very interesting and very fresh. I don't see any of that in this game. But in a way, that's a good thing, because it allows the game to have a greater sense of balancing. You can really go in on your balancing options and determine what weapon works best for you without feeling overwhelmed by the large amount of weapons at your disposal. So it's a pro and a con in both of those ways. One of the things I want to talk about in terms of a con from the experience that I had with the beta is the network. Many people will explain to you why the network had so many issues, but it seems as though each of the platforms had really severe network issues. There must have been way more people on their beta servers than they anticipated there would be, because there was several times when I tried to get on and either couldn't get into a game at all, or if I did get into a game, I was rubber banding to the point where it was laughable. Like, I was streaming some of it, and it was just so fun. Like, people coming into the stream were just in tears of laughter. So I think that's something that Treyarch is going to have to nail on the head if they want to get this game right. The network has to be up and running and functional on day one. People want to play this game. That is what they want. Now, in terms of the weapons, I want to talk about the weapons again a little bit. Many of the weapons, this is a con, many of the weapons are extremely unuseful until you unlock at least the foregrip. Many of the weapons have really, really intense recoil, and getting some clean shots on people can be very, very tricky at first. You'll get used to it after a while, but once you get a foregrip, you'll notice a huge difference in your performance. And so that's actually a pro in that way, is that attachments actually matter in this game. They make a big difference in the way that your weapon handles, but the thing that sucks is that in order to really get your weapon the way you want to, you have to grind through, because your weapons level up over time. You have to grind through that initial pain part. Now, one of the pros of this game that I really like is the wall running mechanics. Now, some people will tell you that the wall running segments and areas are very telegraphed. Like, you can tell that this is definitely a place you're supposed to go, and yeah, that guy just ripped through us. Definitely a place that you're supposed to go and run on this wall and run on that wall. It's not really as, like, you can run on this wall here, but it gives you no real advantage. The maps aren't necessarily fully built around wall running like they are in something like Titanfall. But I think it's implemented fairly well. I heard some complaints about your momentum slowing down a little bit while you're doing certain actions like wall running or doing the boost slide, and so that's something to keep in mind. I didn't really have any issues with that, but that's something that you might want to keep in mind in the interim. Now, one of the other things I wanted to address is something that you're going to be seeing very shortly, which is the specialist abilities. I think the specialist abilities are really interesting. It keeps the game fresh in the sense that your characters have different things about them, but I really think some of these abilities need to be toned down in some way or another. So the Sparrow, for example, is the one that I use the most. I really liked using the Sparrow because it kind of, in a way, it required more skill than some of the other abilities require. This one you kind of have to hit the enemy, like if you miss, you're pretty vulnerable for quite a bit. And the double-sided edge of that is that it has explosive arrows. So if you do miss, but you do hit the area near them, you can severely damage, if not kill, your enemy with one shot. It's really interesting and really cool. There's a grenade launcher that you can use as one of the specialists. I think it's battery, and I really do not like it. It's a cheap weapon. I've been killed by it on numerous occasions by people across the map just kind of shooting into the sky. And the way you unlock it is kind of like in Titanfall, how everyone unlocks their Titan at some point or another. But see, that would have been such a cool kill if I got that. But in Titanfall, everyone gets their Titan. Depending on how well you do, you'll get yours sooner than later. And this is the same thing with your abilities. And this is one of those other abilities that's really interesting. If you're in that cloud, you will die. So that was a guy who revives himself right in front of you. So I killed him once, he revived himself, I killed him again. If you are hit before that, you get into a gunfight and you're really close to him and he activates that, he will kill you. So that is something that I really don't like. That I don't see why I should die if I'm walking by this guy. But you know, maybe everything will feel more balanced at some point, but at that point it feels kind of crazy. And there's another character that gets like this Gatling gun that just does ridiculous damage. You know, he opens up his arm and he can just shoot you with a Gatling gun. And that was me just fucking up. I didn't really do that as well as I could have. One of the other things I do like about the game are the levels, the maps themselves. Treyarch has pretty much always done a really good job with level design and maps. I do hope that there are more levels that emphasize kind of the heightened mechanics and wall running a little bit more. Not necessarily the verticality, but more kind of like the terrain that you can wall run on. It's going to take a little while of getting used to wall running and aiming down the sights and hitting people, but that is definitely one of the things I do like. And the gun handling feels really great. I really, again, I like a lot of the guns. There are very few guns that I don't already like, so here we go. The Sparrow is really fun to use. It's kind of more skill-based rather than, yeah, another kill. So awesome. It's a little bit more skill-based rather than not, and so I think this game has a lot going for it. I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to continue playing it. Look at how many Sparrow kills I'm getting with that. I fucking love that bow. With that, you kind of have to lead your shot just a little bit to make sure that you hit, but you can pretty much guarantee one-hit kills with this weapon as long as you hit your target. What else can I say? Oh, the weapon customization. And so there are two things about the weapon customization I wanted to touch on that are good and bad. One is that you can go really in depth and customize the way your gun looks. Like, you can go on the side or the top of it or the magazine. You can adjust the colors of different elements and, like, you know, tags. You can put, you know, Oni on your gun. I put it on my other HBK gun that you might see in some other videos, and I think that's really cool. But the thing I don't like about that is it absolutely takes away some of the time that it takes a lot of time to do some of that, and like you can't apply that to another design. Like you can't apply it to another gun. It's per gun. It's not per character or something like that. So you have to do that now with every gun that you have and do it the exact way you want it if that's the way you want it. So I find that very annoying. A very like unnecessary time sink. If you want your guns to feel like yours, you have to do it individually. It makes no sense. What else can I say about this game? It's a lot of fun. Obviously, playing with your friends is the best way to go. I've been killed by that Hellstorm kill streak so many times, it's not even funny. So I think there's got to be a way to stop yourself from getting hit by that all the time. There is one specialist ability that really agitates me, and it's the one where it calls someone out and like highlights them automatically. I don't know if perks work against it, but I do know that I've been highlighted by people before, and they know exactly where you are. They can go around the corner and just shoot you directly in the face. So it's really important for you to be around your team because there is that specialist that has that secondary ability that can just totally wreck your face. One of the other things I really like about the game is that you can swim And while you're swimming, while you're doing pretty much everything, you can always have your gun at the ready. And so you're never... See, look at that. I got hit by that again. You can... What was I even trying to say? I've been hit by that stupid bomb so many times. Just check out this last kill cam. This is so frustrating to get hit by this. Every time I played, I got hit by maybe 2 or 3 of those per game. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you can be inside maybe, but that in this particular instance, I heard that it was coming. I was like, oh man, I need to go get to cover, and then I died immediately. So yeah, I really like that you always have your weapon at the ready. You can always be shooting while you're vaulting or while you're wall running or anything. And skill shots are really fun to do. And there's a new game mode where you're escorting a robot. And so in that game mode, you might see more of that in other videos, but I think that's a really, really cool game mode. I'm glad they incorporated it. But those are my impressions of the game. I really like it. I'm hoping I will be getting it on launch day, and I'm hoping that the servers are stable for launch. If you guys liked the video, remember to press the like button and subscribe to stay tuned to everything going on the channel. And check out twitch.tv/BlackOni for the latest and greatest as it happens. And interact with me directly while I'm playing. And who knows, you might even get to play with me. Thank you guys so much. And as always, I will catch you on the next video. Game on. BlackOni out.